And welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia on the Lawrencia TV, a channel that celebrates ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So please subscribe, like, share, and also click on the notification bell to get notified anytime I post new content. So for today's episode, I want to ask the question: is marriage a do or die affair? I mean, I am coming in hot today because I am still kind of having PTSD from, over the weekend, all the revelation that came out from gospel singer, the death of gospel singer Osinachi Nwachukwu. And initially it was reported that she had throat cancer. A lot of people were confused because just 6 days prior, she released an album, Cry. And people were kind of thinking, if somebody has throat cancer, how could they have recorded an album and released an album and then died 6 days later of throat cancer? That is not possible. There's really something going on. So one of her colleagues came out and he said that he's no longer going to keep quiet because they're trying to cover her death, that she actually was killed. She was killed by the husband. The husband beat her and kicked her in the chest while she was down. She went into coma. They took her to the hospital. She was there for 5 days before she gave up. And he said this has always been the case in the family, that in fact that the husband ties her off sometimes and get the kids to kick her while she's down. And so it's not just the husband abusing her, he also gets the kids to abuse her. So the late single Osinachi Nwachukwu has 4 children. She has 3 boys and 1 girl. And I think all of them, the maximum age of those children, the eldest is nothing older than 10 years old, highest 11 years old. So you could imagine the trauma that put on the children, not just on her, but on the children. And she is the lead singer of a very prominent church in Abuja. And the pastor, the general overseer of the church that she was attending, made a video a couple of months ago to say that divorce is never an option, that divorce is a sin, that you cannot leave your marriage no matter the circumstances, no matter the condition. I mean, this is a church that she was attending. This is a church that she was the lead choir member of that church. She lead praise and worship and all those kind of things. And the pastor is not just telling you privately during counseling, but telling the whole congregation that divorce is not an option, no matter the circumstances. Divorce is not an option. So how do you tell that person to behave? You're basically enabling the husband to abuse the wife, and you're telling the wife you cannot leave because divorce is not an option. And at the end of the day, Osinachi was killed by her husband. I am sure that she confided in the church. She confided to the pastors to say that this is what is going on in my marriage, but all they could tell her is divorce is not an option. You can never leave your marriage no matter the circumstances. And today she is no more. She left in a box. She left the marriage in a box. And a lot of people analyze the situation. People talked about in terms of the religious aspect of it. Some people argue that pastors are the problem, because if Osinachi didn't have a pastor that was telling her that divorce was not an option, she would have found her voice. She would have found a way to leave the man, because she was even the breadwinner of the family. She was the one going out there to sing, and the man was her manager. So she was bringing in the money. Without her, he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have any livelihood. And also because the church is her source of income. I mean, what she does is worship songs. She sings with different churches. They invite her for ministration and all that. And if she comes out as somebody that is divorced, the church is not favorable for a woman that is divorced. A man that is divorced, they can understand, because he can come out and claim she is a prostitute. He can come out and claim all sorts of things, and people will be sympathetic of that. But once a woman is no matter, even if the man has children outside, has wives outside, has side chicks outside, they will still tell you that is not enough to leave a marriage. So people argue that religion is the problem, especially in the case of Osinachi. They said that if the pastor had, advised her to leave an abusive marriage, that she wouldn't be no more. She would still be alive to be with her children and help, her children, raise her children. But now they told her she cannot leave. So now the pastors, people were blaming religion for that problem. Some other people blame culture. They said that this is not just a religion problem. That first of all, even before religion came to, Africa, we already have a cultural problem whereby a lady or a female child is prepared for marriage. You have a female child, minimum from the age of 5, you're already telling her to learn how to cook, to learn how to sweep, to learn how to take care of the home, so that she can take care of her husband, so that she can take care of her home, and she can build her home, whereby the man or the male child is just left to wallow, to just walk around and do nothing. They don't teach them how to cook. They don't teach them how to clean. They don't teach them how to behave. They don't even teach them how to, a girl child, when you sit down, they tell you sit properly, don't open your legs. Oh my God, you're not sitting down well. Oh, you're talking too much. Why are you talking back? You're not going to make a good wife. But the male or the son, on the other hand, is not even told what to do, how to be a husband. So we have a society whereby we've raised women well. We've raised our girl child on how to be a wife. We've raised them how to be a mother. We've raised them on how to take care of the family. But the men, on the other hand, they don't even know how to be husbands. And when that man cannot provide, then he becomes violent. Then he becomes abusive. Then he becomes totally different. Because if all you're raised to do is to provide, and that one thing that you're raised to do, you cannot do it, this is when abuse comes in. Even the strongest people can go through abuse. So it's not about, oh, this person is weak, that was why she's been abused and she cannot leave. Anybody, no matter how strong you are, you can get yourself in certain situations whereby you are going to be abused. Physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, psychologically. There are so many forms of abuse that sometimes we focus on the physical form of abuse. But if somebody has abused you financially, mentally, physically, psychologically, and they have achieved all this, the next one is going to be physical abuse. And when it gets to that level, then there is no going back, because what else can they do? This is where we see a situation whereby the late Osinachi's husband abused her financially, he abused her mentally, he abused her psychologically, he abused her physically, and even at that, it wasn't even enough. He had to get the children. This is next level. This is next level. I have never, heard that children as young as 9, 10 are being, recruited to abuse their mother. This is crazy. And this is what people are going through on a daily basis. Maybe not to the extent of Osinachi's case. We have people around us. If you're not in an abusive situation, I can guarantee you that you have seen somebody being abused. You have known somebody that is being abused, and you maybe have witnessed that. What is the solution to this whole thing? A lot of people said that pastors should do more. Pastors should preach about it is okay to be divorced. It is okay to leave abusive marriages. It is okay to separate from an abusive husband. And some other people argue that culturally, we should allow women to have voices. We should, especially in the parent side of it, if your child is telling you that they are being abused, don't tell the child not to come back. Don't tell the child to remain in that abusive situation because of your pride, because they tell you nobody has divorce in our family, so don't start bringing shame to our family by being a divorcee and all those kind of things. It's ridiculous. I mean, if we look at this situation, one thing everybody was asking is, does Osinachi have parents? Does she have brothers and sisters and all these kind of things? And the reality of the whole thing is, you cannot help somebody that is not willing to help themselves. You cannot help somebody leave an abusive situation if the pastor, if their source of income is telling them that that is not even an option. So there are so many layers in this story that I don't even know how to unpack it. I have not even processed it myself, and it's so sad. It's so sad. And the thing is, you see young ladies who decide not to get into situations like that. People are even as we speak right now, people are busy pressuring people to get into marriages, knowing that these two people are not right for each other. These two people cannot make a good couple. They will tell you, oh, you just have to endure. Marriage is all about endurance. Marriage is all about sacrifices. In marriages, you have to bear your cross, whatever cross that is. And most times, it is the women that bear this cross. The men don't have any cross to bear in this whole thing. But my point is, if you are in a situation whereby you're being abused mentally, financially, physically, psychologically, get out of it. Get out of it. I am even more concerned about the children, because she had 3 boys. These boys are going to grow up. They're going to get married. So you, on the other hand, you're busy training your girl child on how to be a good wife, on how to take care of a man, on how to ensure that her home is right. And then a damaged child from a home of abuse, or a home where they are not taught properly, and they come in and they marry your daughter, and then one day your daughter is telling you that this husband is damaged, I don't want to be in this relationship, and you tell them, no, go and bear your cross. That is your cross. They are going to bring your daughter for you in a box. Do you prefer that? Do you prefer for your child to marry somebody that is wrong and come back to you in a box? Or do you prefer your child to stay single, find somebody that they are compatible with? Or better still, remain single. Remain single and remain alive for you. We're a society where women don't have voices. We're a society whereby you see a woman, she's not married, you frown your face at her, you say, oh, she cannot marry a husband. Why is she single at that point? And then she goes out there to get whoever, no matter how bad that person is, just to answer misses, just to please you. She marries the wrong person, and then when she marries that wrong person, she's going through a loss, she's going through all that. She is even the breadwinner of that family, and she's been abused on top of that, financially, mentally, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. And that person comes to you and say, this is no longer working, I can no longer be with this man. The same society will come out and say, she cannot even keep her husband. Why is she leaving her husband? she's a divorcee, she's a single mother. They still put that person down. And if that woman decide, okay, I am going to weather it out and stay with this man, come rain, come shine, and that person lose their life in that process, the same society is going to blame the woman to say, oh, she should have left. Why did she stay there even when she knew that that is threatening her life? But when she comes out of it, the same society are going to blame her for leaving her husband. So you cannot win in any situation, especially as a woman in Africa. You cannot live your life to please anybody. If you know that that situation you're in is not favorable to you or will not favor you, don't stay there. Don't die there. I know people who leave their husbands on the altar. They be like, okay, I've had some couple of, consultations and information. I cannot get married to this person. The same society blame her for doing that. There are so many things, so many cases, and so many examples. One of the things that I've realized is do what is right for you. Love yourself. Self-love, self-care, protect your mental health. If you love yourself, you're not going to let anybody put you down. And this is not saying that even the strongest of people go through abuse, even the strongest of people go through situations. You can find yourself in situations whereby you're vulnerable at that point, and then you go through so many things that on a normal day you will not be able to endure. But all I am saying is, even in that situation, even in that dark moment, find your voice, use your voice, block out whatever anybody is going to tell you, block out whatever you think that people are going to say about you. Your own mental health is more important than what anybody is going to tell you. Love yourself. Forget about what society will say, because at the end of the day, if you die in that situation, society are also going to talk about it. They are not going to shut up about it. They are still going to, now everybody is making videos, judging Osinachi. Some people said, why did she stay there? Some people some people are blaming religion. Some people are blaming the family. Some people are blaming society. But there is somebody here that, if she was equipped, if she was given the right information from a young age, if she was told you don't have to be in that situation, then she would have made an informed decision as an adult. I mean, she has a girl, she has a daughter. What does that say? How does that child grow up to be a normal human being, knowing that this is what happened to my parents, or this is what happened to me? Because now the father is going to go away for killing the wife, and then the children are left fatherless and motherless. So how do you even start to wrap your head around those people? There's already that stigma of, oh, your father killed your mother, and we heard that you are part of the people, she gets you to beat your mother. That stigma is there. So we are bringing up damaged children in the society. No matter how you want to sit down and think, oh, I'm just here bringing up my child, is going to be perfect. Nothing is going to touch the child, or I am training my daughter on how to be a good wife. I am training my son on how to be a good provider. You don't know who your son is going to get married to. Your son might be getting married to somebody from a damaged background. Your daughter might be getting married to somebody who has been traumatized from childhood, and something can just trigger that, and that cycle of abuse continue. So I don't even know who to put the blame. I don't even know how to address this issue. I don't even know if we should start addressing it in the religious aspect, the cultural aspect, the societal aspect, which enable people, if you're not married, you're being tagged. This is a societal issue. And this is also family issue. Some family will tell you nobody has divorced in this family, so you're not leaving your husband. Regardless of what is going on there, you have to stay there. What does that say about us as people? We have children, we have sons, we have daughters, we have brothers, we have sisters, we have fathers, we have mothers. It is encompassing of all these things, and we have to realize that it takes one damaged child to corrupt the whole society. Because once a damaged child marries a good child, then there's going to be conflict, there's going to be issues, there's going to be a whole lot of things. So if you see somebody doing something, you see abuse. I mean, in the case of Osinachi, nobody spoke up, nobody said anything, even though she was confiding in people until it was too late. So as a society, if you see somebody being abused, say something, do something. Even if tomorrow they are going to go back together, reconcile, and use you as their enemy, that is fine. You have done your part. Let us help ourselves. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I know it's a very heavy one. Please leave me a comment in the comment section. I want to know, is this really a problem of religion? Is this really a cultural problem? Is this really a societal problem? Or is this basic family problem? How do we start to solve this problem? How do we even start to address it? As a society, what do we do? Because I'm lost. I don't even know where to start. So leave me a comment in the comment section. I'm happy to read your comments. I'm happy to read your views. You can also send me an email at admin@lawrenciatv.com. So that is all I have to say for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you same time next week. Bye bye.